Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AI Product Builders, where we explore the cutting edge of AI with industry leaders. Today, we are excited to host a seasoned product manager with over a decade of experience in developing AI driven products. He was instrumental in launching Skylight, Microsoft's first ever AI chatbot, and then he went on to work on Power Virtual Agent, which is now Microsoft AI Copilot. Now he is Director of Product at Salesforce working on AI Copilot. With deep expertise in product management, customer experience, chatbots, and AI technologies, he brings valuable insights into building successful AI products. Join us as we dive into a conversation about AI, chatbots, conversational AI, and product management. Abhi, welcome to AI Product Builders.
Hey, Shri, thank you for having me. So excited to be part of this podcast today.
It's a pleasure. So, Abhi, could you share your journey to being an AI product leader? And currently, you work at Salesforce as well. Like, what is your role? What is your current focus?
Yeah, sure. So I basically started my career as an engineer, like many product managers. I was an engineer. I was leading an engineering team. At some point, I really wanted to move into product management to be closer to the customer. And 10 years ago, I made the transition. I was working on some of the cloud-based ERP, CRM products, and I had a great opportunity, I would say rather like 6 or 7 years ago, to work on chatbots, right? And then AI-based chatbots. There was a small team in Microsoft Research which was trying to build some proof of concepts and really want to try out the technology. I was really lucky to get that opportunity to work with the team, and then we figured out, okay, this is something which can be really powerful as the technology evolved. And then that's how I landed in my first gig as an AI product manager. So that's a quick journey about where I've been, and especially in the AI product management world.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting journey to be a product manager because you were into building AI chatbots before even AI was cool. Now everyone wants to be an AI product manager.
That's a
really
great point because
yeah.
some of my friends always say that, and even my daughter says that, like, oh, you really call this one because you have been telling me that you have been working on chatbots for the last 7 years and
Yes,
nobody cared about it, but suddenly everybody's talking about it.
you have been at at the forefront of building low-code chatbot. Can you share how generative AI and ChatGPT technologies are transforming the way businesses solve real-world problems through chatbots?
Yeah. I think the beauty of chatbots, it's like really flexible, in terms of an end user experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about, if you're putting a website or an app or a FAQ, whatever that is, right? There is a predetermined set of content you have to put out there, a predetermined experience, and you're
Yeah.
expecting that the customer has to go through that to get that whole experience. But in
Mm-hmm.
chatbot, you can really build a conversational experience, and which can change in the middle of the experience, right? Depending on what the customer wants. You can
Yeah.
take them to different paths, and then show them different content, or help them to perform different actions. So it really empowers the customer, right? Like the end
Yes.
user. So that's why I think more and more people are now realizing that with the power of the new technology, with the generative AI, with like all the GPTs, the large language models. But that has always been the very interesting or very unique feature about chatbots or AI. Now the AI copilots, that you have the ability to drive the customer to different use cases as part of the
Mm-hmm.
single experience.
Mm-hmm.
And generative AI really kind of put did a 10x or 100x on that experience because of all that capabilities you come with the natural language understanding, and also
Yes.
with the summarization capabilities, and with and all this new innovations we are doing with the grounding. It has made it really powerful. So
Yes.
generative AI, the power of generative AI being conversational really brings out that capability, like where the customer can feel more empowered on how he can direct that experience even within a website or an app or everything. Right? So that's why the people say, like, the future is conversational, right? And the
Yeah.
reason is exactly this, because more and more people are waking up to the fact that hey, using a conversational experience, we can better engage with our customers than before. So, yeah.
Yes. So we are talking about chatbots and AI copilots. Could you explain our audience what's the difference between AI copilots and chatbots?
Mhm. Yeah, I think the simplest way to think about it is AI copilots are like a generative AI chatbots, right? But beyond that, there are a lot of nuances. right? Because I would say, like, let's start with just some of the most common distinctions, right? If you look at chatbots, a lot of this, in the most of the traditional chatbots, a lot of the conversational flows are predetermined. It's already pre-configured by the bot designers using that low-code bot designer tool, so that they have a full control on what the customer is going to be prompted and how they're going to respond and all this. Whereas the fundamental difference here in the terms of the Copilot, it is very, very like AI orchestrated. The AI decides what needs to be shown to the customer, right? And I'm sure you have heard about the planner. Since you're working on the Copilot, you're familiar with the planner and how the AI orchestration happens. So that is a very, very powerful differentiation. I think that's where I would almost like to give an analogy of moving from a regular car to a self-driven car, right? Like, so it's like you have to really make that technology so appealing for the customer to take that and run with it, right? And the second important part I would say is with the traditional chatbots, most of the data you want, you will have to kind of query it using some of these connectors, right? You could potentially have like APIs and get that information before you present it inside a chatbot. But in the Copilots, what we do is mostly we rely on grounding. So grounding is the one way, like basically get all your customer specific information from whatever data source you have today. Right, it could be your knowledge base or it could be your websites. We use that grounding concept to actually get this multiple data source, and then the RAG part, right, the retrieval augmentation, and then give you that real very context specific generative answer experience, right? And that's an important thing. And then this is another thing which many people don't realize about this difference, and which is like many times. Oh, sorry. Okay. Many times what happens is like how do I say, like you may embed a chatbot into a website, right? But it will still be very silo. It doesn't have much relationship with the website itself. You may already have a set of content, and the chatbot will answer only that questions. It doesn't know much about the website and things like that. But whereas when it comes to Copilot, it can be really context rich, and you can do like a lot of things depending on where the customer is, whether he's in an app or whether he's in a website. You could really bring in contextual interactions to that customer and ask like proactive questions, suggest some proactive active actions he can take. So it really it's more like a reactive versus proactive approach. So I think that is another key thing which differences what I can think of when it comes to both chatbots and copilots.
I mean, we are seeing currently a lot of AI copilots, right? In your experience, what are some of the most innovative use cases of copilots you've seen in the industry? Like, how are they transforming customer engagement?
See, like if you look at the history of chatbots, gained importance because of customer service, right? Because people realize that chatbots good at job in deflecting user questions from reaching the human agents, so that they can actually deploy the chatbot. But in the copilots, it's more and more like becoming like a productivity assistant, right? So that's the first evolution of copilots as I see it. Like more and more companies are using like copilots like a virtual assistant for their own employees, right? So that they can do a better job. They can have like cost savings, savings, and things like that, time savings. Eventually, that will also evolve into more like the traditional chatbot use cases for customer service, where copilots can be like used for the customer's customer, where they can be used to answer support questions or identify sales leads and things like that, right? And then help the business as well, right? So those are the two big use cases I see here.
Conversational AI is the biggest topic. Like, could you explain what are some of the factors affecting conversational AI?
Yeah, I mean, conversational AI is conversational AI kind of evolved, right? Like first initially it was more like natural language understanding using the foundation models, where you could come to a chatbot, you could train a chatbot with a set of utterances, and the chatbot understands it, and it was able to answer your questions.
Yes.
Now you have this Copilot world where the planner or the AI orchestration takes care of all this, right? And then, but conversational AI is, for conversational AI to be effective, it's not only about the conversational AI, it's also about the ecosystem, right? It's like about, one thing is like the builder experience, like how easy you make it for that Copilot creator or the chatbot creator to be able to come and build their Copilot, right? Or put your Copilot capabilities together, whether actions or
Yes.
things, right? And then another thing which many customers, which always is like a fast follow, which many customers immediately ask is, hey, can my Copilot support multiple languages or multiple markets, right? So that is
Yeah.
another key thing which the conversational AI, any conversational AI solution vendor should consider, like, hey, how many markets can I address using my solution, right? And then the other one is the reusability. You want to be able to build it and then not have like silos, but be able to build it and reuse it across different platforms, or you should be able to kind of have the modularity to be able to copy some of part of it or full of it, and then be able to move it across the deployment cycles in a much faster and more efficient way. If you're using an Apple chat, you may want to use the time picker there, right? And your Copilot should be smart enough to be able to handle those kind of things. And then only the conversational AI comes into the picture, which is like the mode, like, which is like, we should be having that, both that flexibility of the generative AI and also the traditional NLU models, like depending on the customer. Like it's, as I said earlier, it's making the transition from a regular car to a self-driving car. Like you should provide that flexibility to the customer that, hey, we got this great technology, and you can just try it out and you can find out how it works while you are on this existing technology. So I think that would kind of comprise, I would say, an array of capabilities for any conversational AI solution if you want to bring it to the market.
So, could you share some of the biggest challenges you faced in developing and deploying AI products? And what are the opportunities that excite you mostly in the conversational AI space?
Yeah. So I would say, like, rather than my own challenges, it's lots about the customers' challenges, right? So that's what I align on. And definitely, I would say, like, we are seeing an evolution of AI copilots into like two distinct buckets, right? One is as a productivity assistant, which is more like an employee facing copilot, which is going to help with the employees' efficiency, time savings, cost savings, so those kind of things, help them to do their job faster and more efficiently. And then there is this another huge bucket, which I would call it as the next more customer facing copilots, where it is becoming like where copilots are being used like in place of the existing traditional chatbots, right? Like for mostly for customer service use cases, or like for sales lead qualification and things like that, right? And the challenges I would see is like for any, not only conversational AI, generative AI itself, for adoption is like the customers should feel like strong value differentiation why they want to come to generative AI, right? And then I think that is the challenge I think pretty much almost every vendor is facing, and that's where this whole ecosystem comes into play. Building a great trust, providing that flexibility with your models, and then enabling the customer to bring a very powerful set of data together, and then having a conversational layer on top of it so that they can easily access all these things. Good. Like 90% of an organization's data is like in unstructured data, right? Like emails, conversation transcripts, right? Random documents like PDFs, Word documents, right? And then you have a set of enterprise data as well. How do you bring that together? So Salesforce has the data cloud now, which with a lot of those powerful capabilities to bring that various set of data streams, both real time and then existing data together, and then be able to generate insights out of it using the semantic search. And this will be the foundation to ground the conversational experience, which is surfaced through the Einstein Copilot. And so this So the challenges around data that has to be addressed. Whichever who's the vendor, they have to make sure that they are providing that set of capabilities for bringing those data together for the AI to be able to work on. And then finally, the conversational experience itself, building it, how easy it is, and how low code and how effective it is for even for a non-technical or a less technical user to come and put together a
Yes,
chatbot or a copilot, right? So
Copilot. Yeah.
I think all those challenges have to be addressed, I think, and that's where the opportunities are as well. The more and more you provide these three things like the trust, the data pipelines, the powerful RAG, and also like the easy builder experience, right? And along with this existing richness of the data, so that really gives you a very comprehensive Copilot AI chatbot solution for future.
I think that's it for today. Thank you, Abhi, for being part of this podcast. Thank you for sharing your insights on AI, chatbots, and also product management. It's really a pleasure talking to you.
Same here, Sri. Thank you for having me. It's wonderful talking to you, and I've been following your podcast. You've got some great guests, and I'm really honored to be part of this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank, thank you.